entire mango season, preferably lockdown like we are in, warrants various different styles and recipes, and I'm one to always create new recipes to give this king of fruits the due diligence that it deserves. Now I'm sure I can write a recipe book very soon on the amount of times I use mango and dedicate the entire book to it. So out here we're creating a mango upside down cake. Really simple, but the flavors are sharp. So I'm going to take about 50 grams of sugar and just create a warm and comforting caramel. Caramel always requires you to work on the slowest possible temperature so that it gets that gorgeous amber gold color and not brown. You want those slight specks to scent the cake when turned upside down. So give it a swirl so that all the sugar crystals melt evenly and get that perfect amber gold. With this nearly done and you've got that gorgeous amber gold, a quick swirl, switch off the flame. And out here I've got a 9-inch spring foam mold that I have lightly greased with some butter. And I'm just going to pour all this randomly into the mold so I get that gorgeous amber gold when inverted. Allow it to cool down before adding Alfonso mango slices on top. Now you want the caramel to cool down completely before adding the mango slices on top, and this is a great time to create that pound cake. So out here into a bowl I've got 200 grams of refined flour going in along with 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You can add about 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, but not a great fan, so I tend to skip it very often. And finally, 1/2 teaspoon of some salt just to give it that burst of flavor. Allow all this to mix well and just set it on the side. Into a bowl you take 200 grams of salted yellow butter, just soften it till it's that glorious pale yellow color. And into that you add 200 grams of superfine sugar or caster sugar. Just cream these two together till the sugar melts and you get that glorious sheen within. It's a very, very simple pound cake creation. Creaming it from a lemon yellow to a pale sunrise color is the best way to know that you're on the right track, getting the sugar to melt as it softens and gets slightly aerated in soft peaks. So keep at it, and now at this time I like to scent it with some vanilla, and I'm just going to eyeball nearly 1.5 teaspoons to contrast the sharp flavor of the mango and caramel. So cream this together for another 4 to 5 minutes before adding in all the other ingredients. Into this goes in 4 eggs. So I'm putting 1 egg at a time just to beat it up and ensure it doesn't curdle. And even if it curdles and you see side curdling specks into this, do not be alarmed because the flour helps bind everything together. But the beauty out here is to ensure you put 1 egg at a time and whisk it in so that it is smooth and perfect in creating this creaming method of a cake. In goes the second egg and consecutively the third and the fourth. With 3 eggs in and they are light and airy, in goes the last egg and just blend everything well together. As you smoothen it out, now comes the fun part to ensure that you have specks of mango into the cake as well. So while I've taken nearly 5 Alfonso mangoes and cut them into slices, and the sides I'm using to layer at the bottom of the cake, I've taken the part which has the seed, because you shouldn't waste any bits of it, squeezed them, and got on an average of half a cup of this chunky mango pulp going in. So this is what's going to give it most of its flavor right within the cake. If you don't want to put mango, just put half a cup of milk and accordingly work at it. So you can put half a cup of milk. If you want to have a boozy version of a cake, you can put half a cup of dark rum and create various versions of this cake. With all this well blended, and you can make out it's nice and aerated and foamy in its texture. It's time now to add the flour that we mixed with baking powder and salt. So I like to divide it into 3 batches and just work it right in. It's a very simple cake, no folding method used out here. Creaming methods work perfect to create this mock Victorian sponge. Second part going in, and if you find your cake to be slightly dry at this part, don't hesitate to add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of milk into it just to smoothen and have that perfect consistency. So we're just going to mix it and carefully, otherwise I'm going to have flour all over my kitchen. And finally, in goes the last part of the flour. I love the color that mango pulp adds to this cake, and more importantly, once baked, it gives you that mango flavor all throughout. This cake is ready. You do not need to even add milk if you follow the recipe to the T. Now I'm just playing out here and ensuring that everything is mixed perfectly well. Arranging the mangoes on the caramel require a slight fanfare, and it's really very simple. The slices that you have, cut it into half and just arrange it all around and just put some chunks right in the center. So with that done, all you need to do is take this cake mix and layer it on top. Just allow every last bit of it to go in because it's so flavorful. Smoothen it out so that it goes into every crevice of this, and this goes into that preheated oven. Just leveling it is required because you want this to rise evenly and not have those large mounds not centered properly. While I did preheat the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, I brought the temperature down to 180, and this goes in to bake for a perfect 15 minutes till a skewer comes out clean. Perfect brown color on top, and the crack is telling you that your cake is perfectly done. While we've allowed the cake to just about sit for 5 minutes, you want it to absorb its heat and cook for the last mile. Take a knife, just run it around the edges so that it's easy to demold. Greasing the pan helps you a lot in ensuring that the cake demolds easily. Now, moment of truth and the grand unveiling. So, a lovely platter. Take this and just turn it over. And since I've used a spring foam, easy peasy, I'm just going to loosen it out. And I wish you to see this gorgeous caramelly goodness. Surprised, and this gorgeous mango upside down is ready. The gooiness of the caramel has given it such a beautiful color. This cake, all you need to do is cut it into wedges and enjoy it warm, because it's perfect to have for tea time, especially when it's warm right out of the oven. The caramel works its wonder. Any leftover, dunk it into the refrigerator, and trust me, it works well even cold. Mango obsessions come alive with this upside down wonder and makes lockdown barely tolerable with everyone at home. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and as I always say, stay safe, stay blessed, and do subscribe for many more of these.